So let's go through this real quick, right? You're a Protoss player playing a Terran player. Even though you can cannon rushing is just one of those things you want to kind of like get really good at as a Protoss player, since you're a Protoss race. Super virtuous. So it's good to have your macro knowledge, and it's good to have your economical, like early aggression, uh, early cheese knowledge, special tactics. So here, I'm gonna play somebody that knows who I am, right? Someone that's aware of my dirtiness in the game. And so this person, Boom's already starting off with a supply depot. So, the one thing that must have hurt right there, losing an SCV like that, ugh, nobody likes that. Except this probe though. So, okay, so he's keeping me from watching. I can't go in and see how many gas he has. I could only assume. But if you kind of know build orders, you kind of know that he's going to want to get it eventually. Sooner than later, because this is not too common where you block someone off that early, but it's one of those where it's like, I don't want you to see something. I got something to hide. Which normally doesn't mean a fast expansion. It's like, I'm not going to get a fast expansion. So I'm starting off standard, you know? Starting off with a pylon, a gateway, 2 gases, and a cybernetics core. But then I go into the next transition, which is Stargate. So you don't normally see me get like 4 or 5 gateways and do the warp gate builds. They're there, I could do them. I could do warp gate style. But if you're not going like for a early timing kill, then you kind of don't need it, at least not until later. I mean, that's the whole reason why warp gate's not very important to me in the beginning of the game, even if I play standard. It's because most of the time I'm not going for like timing attacks where it's like 3 gates, get the warp gate, get it timing, and then start going for harass. I'm more of the take the later game, get the tech up, go into either Robo and Stalker, Immortal, if you want to clear out the Stalker intro harass. In this case, transitioning into Stargate for Terran. And then I'm going to Fleet Beacon. So, if I'm not getting multiple gateways right now, I kind of don't want to use up the gas for sure. So I'm going very tech style. So I come over here just to poke around, make sure there's no bunker being made or him trying to float a command center. Just kind of get a feel of what is he doing, what's the Terran doing, because I don't see anything up on the high ground. Whereas the Terran player is switching into reactor bay for double medevacs, and then it's gonna get a couple widow mines. Gonna go for a timing attack. So in this level, these Terrans have done this build time and time and again. It's a comfort where they do some type of early harass too. Though I don't know how much of it is reacting towards me as a player, being that I'm very cheesy. Sometimes they might tend to stay in their main base a little too long. They don't want to lose to an early cheese, so they stay defensive and then they go into an attack. Assuming that's the case, but very conservative with the scout, just stalker scouts. Came back, got an expansion, so I know I'm actually beating him by the macro stage. And then I'm switching into Tempest because with Tempest I can actually protect a larger range of area without getting killed or losing units. So I got a couple stalkers. This is for the early attack, but once you get to about this stage where medevacs kick in, you kind of want something else. Could be disruptors. The only thing about disruptors is that they pick off. If you try to shoot the ball, they might pick up the Marines, and it messes up the whole shot of the disruptor. We lost some probes, but at the end of the day, we still kept our nexus. Now, the good thing about these new Tempests is that they're able to catch up to the army. So it makes a really good way of keeping the army at bay. It's like, nah, stay on your side. Because if they get too close, you can chase them all the way, at least to about the middle. You don't want to chase them too far. Because then, yeah, you might get caught off guard. This particular one, this build is not actually a Tempest build. There's times where I make a pylon and some battery shields right here and go for a Tempest rush. This one's slightly different. There's more of a standard Florencio build where I'm getting my Colossus. So right here I'm pretty much forcing out Vikings and Marines. When you go Tempest, you force out Vikings and Marines typically, because Marines do really well versus Tempest. Now, I do have my battery shields on the high ground, so I get to use this kind of high ground micro. So it's very useful to have battery shields in this area when you're going Tempest like this. So you're getting Tempest, right? That's forcing out Vikings and Marines, because Marines do a really good job versus Tempest, especially with stim. So what I'm doing is I'm countering the Marines now. Because look, you get caught in this situation, the Marines can do a really good job catching up to the Tempest if they use their stim. They could use a double stim and catch up. So that's where the Tempest is drawing out, right? Something that can kill them. They feel Terran feels comfortable. So then you go for Colossus, because Colossus counters the Marines. All right. So now you got Tempest forcing out Marines, then you got Colossus countering Marines. Marines are scouting or running. So once you get to this part, right, you get your Colossus, your Tempest. The Templars are the next choice. Unit of choice right here. These guys. So these guys substitute your upgrades. instead of getting like your 2-2 upgrades, 3-3 upgrades, this is kind of like going for your upgrades in a sense, especially for Terran. So sometimes even better than upgrades, to be honest with you. Like it's like, oh, you can go upgrades, double forge, or you can get this beautiful thing called Templar Archives. And because they rain on Terran. Look how compact they tend to get. One storm right here is like giving my army right after that like a 3-3 attack or something, you know? Maybe more, because they really get injured. And then you get to get more as well, so it's not only just one Templar storm for that temporary moment. So I don't know. Versus Terran, I really tend to take this over upgrades. I just have to always be aware of the micro that it takes to keep these from getting EMP'd or sniped or even noticed. Now, speaking of noticed, hey guys, yeah, but this is already too late. It's too late for him to react into Ghost, which is why I hide him. I hide him so that they don't get the Ghost right away, which is always a surprise to them because they're not used to Templars being out this early too often, since they're going, most Protosses go for upgrades. Vikings. And Barco, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you so much. A Barco, right? I said it right? These Vikings are coming out. Getting a third. Lost a lot of SCVs on the last attack. That Tempest is giving extra damage every so often with his nice range. And he's running. I can't always send one up just in case there's Widow Mines. I don't want to get caught out. And there they are. Jeez.